I'm naturopathic Dr. Lauren DeVille, and thank you for joining me one more time. So as a recap from last video, I mentioned that naturopathic medicine essentially believes that the body is designed to heal itself, that God intentionally designed us so that we would be capable of self-correcting, with two caveats to that. We need to make sure that we can identify and remove any obstacles to cure that are preventing us from healing, and we also need to give the body the basic building blocks that it needs in order to effect a cure. So today I want to talk about the obstacle toxins in your supplements. So there's lots and lots of people who come in to see me with huge shopping bags full of all of the different supplements that they bought at the drugstore usually, and they feel like the fact that they're taking so many different things makes them healthier because all of these have different things that it does that makes them better, that can have different, they read somewhere that it's good for XYZ, and they've decided that it's a good thing for them to start taking it. And sometimes this isn't a bad thing. Sometimes I will tell them, all right, well, you can take this if you want to. It's kind of up to you. Depending on the reason, there are a few things where I can see, okay, you've got the specific issue, so you need to be taking this specific supplement, and that's a really good idea. But more often than not, I try to get people off of supplements rather than putting them on more supplements. And there's a few exceptions to this. I think that because of the way our society is now, and our society, and I should say even more specifically the way our food is now, there are 4 types of supplements that I think everybody should be on. I think everybody needs to be on a multivitamin, everybody needs to be on a fish oil, everybody needs to be on a probiotic, and everybody needs to be on an antioxidant. All of those are really a great idea, really good safeguard against all of the different things that have been done to our food over time. So in general though, I would say that if you are buying supplements from the drugstore, they're probably not doing you a great deal of good anyway, because there are a few exceptions. There are certain supplements that really are created equal and you can pretty much take them from wherever. But what I see that people are coming in with from the drugstores are, a lot of them are chock full of additives. If you read that inactive ingredient list, it's super long, and most of them are chemicals that you probably don't identify, can't identify. A lot of them say soybean oil. I'm not against soy. That will be a topic for a different video. But soy, if it doesn't specifically say that it's not genetically modified, it is. So that causes a different set of issues that can cause inflammation and stuff, and there's plenty of research behind that. Cornstarch is another one that's genetically modified, if it's not stated otherwise. Sucrose is sugar, so we're getting enough sugar already as it is. I believe the last statistic I read a few years ago was that the average American consumes, I think, 156 pounds of sugar per year, and it's probably higher now because it's been a few years since I've looked that stat up, but it's a lot of sugar. We don't need extra of it, especially not in a supplement where it's not doing us any good. There's also a lot of times artificial sugars that sneak into there. A lot of them have non-absorbable aspects to them. So if they're tablets, then you're not going to be able to break them down in the stomach acid. And one exception to that, I would say, is if you are doing a supplement that is whole food based. Those typically are also tablets, and they're packed really tightly, and those are easier for the stomach to break down. But some of the other kinds of multivitamins, for instance, that shall remain nameless, tend to show up intact in septic tanks. They don't do you any good, so there's no point in taking them. So I don't like tablets, and then also just taking tons and tons of things, a lot of times because they're even in good products, they usually do have some fillers, and I've seen people react to the fillers, especially the accumulation of fillers when there's so many different things that they're taking. That definitely adds up. So 1 or 2, maybe you can sneak by with that and not have any symptoms, but if you do enough of them, they eventually will cause you problems. So I do try to get people to, number 1, make sure they're reading labels on their supplements so that they don't have those long, if you don't recognize what's on that long list of ingredients, I'd stay away from it as a general rule. Make sure you're only taking things that you actually understand why you're taking, so that you're not having that accumulation over time. And make sure that the supplements you are getting are coming from a reputable source, a place where you know that they're actually doing what they claim they're doing. All right, so thanks for joining me, and I will talk about another obstacle to cure in the next video.